Hello and welcome to We the Revolution. So this is a new game to me, so this is why we're creating the video. I know it's not a new game, but I was genuinely interested in this. As you can see, obviously the statue over there is pretty interesting. So without further ado, let's create our profile. So I know there isn't really a description for fiction mode, it just says this is the description. And then there's survival mode. Well, so survival is a variant of the main game, and I kind of had to check a guide just to see what the difference was. I didn't look at a guide on the gameplay itself, just what is the difference between survival and fiction. So fiction is the main game, and then survival is just an aspect of the game that you can do over and over again. So we're gonna do fiction, you know, just so that we can experience the real game. And then let me create the profile real quick. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. I don't know if there's gonna be any audio, if it's all like subtitles. I checked to see...
Father.
Oh, there's my answer.
I am here.
Are we?
Do you hear me?
Yes. Oh, those are angry people.
I gave you the best I could.
I will say, I do like the art style. It's very unique, to me at least.
Why did you disown me?
Uh-oh.
I have your blood in my veins. How could you?
Wait, did he be like, you're an aristocrat, you need to die?
Do I mean nothing to you?
Oh, jeez.
Why did you grieve for him? He was nothing.
That's a murder. That's a guillotine.
I am better than he was. People will follow in my footsteps. Father.
That's a very good opening, if I do say. It sparks the intrigue. France, turn of the 18th century. The prologue. Is this before Revolution? Seems a little too clean and happy. Not clean anymore. Oh, he used the flag. I try to have my mouse out of the way, but it's still kind of... Oh, hello. Remind me next time that I want to stop drinking this cloudy vodka. Remind me before I drink. We're disgracing Themis. Ha. Is someone coming? Do I click? Yes, I click. This was bound to happen. I told you. Papa, you said we would go. You promised. Oh, so this is our family. Papa had a lot of work. Yeah, yes, a lot of heavy glasses. You promised me. I can't anymore. I'm fed up with asking. Mama is angry because... Quiet. Today, your favorite son wanted to prove he was more honorable than his father, so he started a fight. A 5-year-old boy, for God's sake. Our neighbors wanted you to explain that to them, but... Well, you were fighting for justice at an inn. Darn you, you bloody drunk. Mother. It sounds like we're gonna get a divorce. Oh, is this how we do a court case? Okay, documents and letters. Drag and drop documents to manage their layout. Click to display their contents. Events. React to events. Ignoring them may have severe consequences. Review detailed information about current events, actions, and characters. Verdict. Consider the effects and decide the defendant's fate. Don't. Hierarchy. Oh, wait. Review the current balance of power in Paris and your position therein. Intrigues are complex conflicts between you and another political player. A defeat may turn out to be disastrous for you. Influence points. Influence points are the main currency in the game. Use them wisely. Notifications, please. Any changes in your influence and relations with factions. Global modifiers. Some of your decisions and changes in the world may cause global modifiers to come into action. These factors affect your relations, reputation, and influence. You can review them in your notebook. Okay. So we gotta look at the case file. File. Review charges and facts. This will make it easier for you to unlock questions for the defendant. Okay, to Judge Alexis. We have not expected this kind of behavior from your son, although apparently we should have. Innocent child's play turned into an assault on our children. The younger one, Antoine, now has a chipped front tooth. We hope that you will punish your child accordingly. Should the situation repeat itself, we will react more decisively. I am sure we can deal with a gambler and a drunkard, even if he is a judge. We will not let our children be hurt. Okay, so broken tooth. Unlock questions. Finding links. Find the correct links to unlock questions. Choose a line of inquiry and link it to the right category. Okay. Chances. While linking lines of inquiry and categories, you may make a limited number of mistakes. If you make too many mistakes, the whole system will be locked. Traps. Some cases may contain traps. Read through the files thoroughly to find the lines of inquiry that are irrelevant. Okay. Hold on. So it says go to the case file. So find things that are irrelevant. We have not. Innocent child's place turned to an assault. Younger one now has chipped tooth. So it's like Antoine got pulled out, chipped tooth, the assault, and then innocent. Okay. So child's play. So injured Antoine is the victim. Is that part of the course of events? Number of traps fighting children is part of the course of events. So there's one more question to reveal. That's it. Okay. Cool. Gather information and influence the jury's attitude by questioning the defendant. To unlock questions. To ask questions, you have to first unlock them in the inquiry and linking. Being in the jury's good graces allows you to find out which way they will sway after you've asked a question. Well, I didn't look at the letter yet. Make your decision. Each action may require a different number of influence points and have different chance of success. Consider them carefully. Your addictions are no longer a secret. The fact that other children are bullying your son because of them is a minor problem, but who is spreading these rumors? It is likely to be one of their parents. They could have whispered into their children's ears whom they shouldn't play with and why. They might even have spiced up the story with a lie, but who will hear it next? Okay. I don't know if I should do that yet. I'm like looking at this and it's like, do I do that yet? Okay, well, let's just ask the questions. How did your play turn into a fight? Our neighbors, Antoine and Jean, they were saying mean things about you. We were playing guards. They asked me to pretend to be a drunkard who they would, you were fighting both of them at once? I had to. What exactly were they saying? Are you too drunk to guess? I was not asking you. They were yelling that I told them that is not true, and they started calling me names. They called me a drunkard's son. So, who started the fight? I can tell you who ended it. I think it was me. I got kicked on the left, and then Wanted to get the one on the right, but they ended it. They knocked me to the ground and paid me back for hitting them. Did you really break his tooth? He's just a child. Or Frederick is just a child. I don't know. I don't think so. Did you hit him in the face? I think I kicked him, but not that hard. His tooth might have already been broken. Okay. So we asked the questions. We have the notebook. Relations. Negative relations with factions means negative consequences for you. Okay. The reputation impacts everything in the world of the game. Factions, family relations, the audience's attitude, the fervor, is that how you say that? In sections, and even the ability to persuade other characters. Influence points. You have a set amount of influence points per day. In the future, you will be able to increase this limit. Well, acquittal. Okay. Oh, that's the verdict form. Punishment. And then you have to sign it. Okay, well, I want to go back to the news. So, let's talk eye to eye. Influence points -1. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna say not guilty. And we sign it. Oh, I thought I could actually get to sign it. Damn. You did well. A man has to defend the honor of his family no matter what. Educational procedures. Those children are so small and they already know the truth. The father of my children is a lying drunk and a gambler. Bernard used to worship you, but he soon grew up. Now it's Frederick's turn to learn the truth that echoes in the streets. Are you Raymond? You're supposed to be my husband's mentor. Is this what you wanted to teach him? How to repeat your mistakes and lose his family? I was unaware that... I still don't know how to say that. Had such a temper. As was I. Well, we will wait outside, as always. She seems upset. Oh, let's move this to the corner.
Paris.
I'm waiting for the Revolution.
Liberté! We were enchanted by the idea of freedom.
Uh-oh.
We could not resist it. Whole families took to the streets.
This isn't the same voice as earlier.
France was never so happy.
Uh-oh.
We were enchanted by the idea of freedom.
I like the contrast of the blue and the red. Nice little touch. Act 1. Liberté. Liberty, basically. Day 1. I'm assuming we have to do what we can to survive. Okay. Find out which verdict is expected by the factions and your close ones, okay? So that's expected by the common folk and the revolutionaries, and acquittal is not expected by anyone. Jury has not revealed verdict yet. News. Neighborhood gossip. The father had a rare episode of foolishness when he decided to stand up to someone stronger, threatening him with a fist and showing his children they are safe by his side. He did not listen to your arguments. Furthermore, he gave a precise description of where you can shove it. Reputation -2. Do we want to hire thugs? Okay. Hierarchy. Robespierre. Okay. A judge of the Revolutionary Tribunal. Protege of Raymond, who introduced him in the private. He's okay, that's us. Owing to his passion, devotion to the revolutionary cause, he is widely referred to as the Incorruptible, as the leader of the radical. Isn't it like J is supposed to sound like H, right? In the English, whatever. It's like Jacobins, I don't think that's how you say it at all. He preserves the order in the National Convention with an iron fist and, if need be, terror. Undeniably the most powerful man in Paris in the age of the Revolution. As yet, none have dared defy him. Okay. Notebook. Okay, influence 3. Revolutionaries medium, common folk medium. So everyone says he should be going to prison. Let's look at the case file. Jean Renard, a 45-year-old innkeeper. Fraud. Okay, so it's for fraud. Has been charged with fraud. He is accused of diluting alcohol in his tavern, tricking clients into paying extra. Guests come with their mindset on a specific goal, getting roaring drunk, but instead of staggering out after drinking 2 pitchers of wine or several pints of beer, they would sit in the inn until morning, still sober and completely penniless. The innkeeper's fraud came to light when one of the customers discovered the scam and caught the cheater in the act. The man entered the host's cellar and witnessed him diluting the alcohol in the barrels with ordinary water. As a result, the customer received only 4 parts of what they paid for and 1 part from the water. Okay. So, motive. So that's the innkeeper. So adding water is the method. Doesn't say how many traps. We have 3 questions to reveal. Supposing that's the witness. Isn't that part of the method? Okay. And then wouldn't it be the drunkenness is the motive? Okay. That wasn't as difficult as I thought, maybe? I don't know if we should hire thugs. Because to me that sounds like a bad idea. So we're just gonna ignore that. Protocol. View the child's records. Okay, nothing here. So let's ask the man. It is in difficult times people like to seek peace at the bottom of a glass. Please introduce yourself. My name is Jean Renard, Monsieur le Judge. Nothing but a fraud. Jury. Systematically opposing the opinion of the jury may lead to serious consequences. Okay. Let's see. How long have you been involved in the illegal practice of diluting alcohol? It's not an illegal practice. Everyone adds a bit. In your case, it was a bit of wine in the water, not the other way around. How have you been doing this for a long time? Or have you been? A few weeks at the most. It's been hard to earn a living lately. I used to run an honest business. Pure wine was overspilling the glasses. Is there any proof to support your testimony? He lied to his customers. No reason he wouldn't lie in court. Okay, so they're thinking about that. How do you feel about tricking weary citizens? Terrible, but all I wanted was to keep my business afloat. Others don't mess around for sure. No diluting would be the end of me. So you decided to commit fraud so as to not lose money. If I lost my tavern, my family would starve to death. Do you have children? I do. 1 son and 2 daughters. Time to start saving up for the dowry. Then why don't you send them to work, idiot? Okay. Do your clients drink a lot? Tavern regulars usually drink a lot. So have you been selling plenty of wine? Quite a lot, yes. And yet you have been paying taxes on the amount of wine you have bought, not the amount of wine you've been selling, correct? I don't understand. So you have been paying taxes on 4 wine barrels, but by adding a quart of water to each, you have actually made the money of selling 5 barrels of wine. That's what I was about to say. That's one way of putting it. Perhaps it's correct. I'm not too good with numbers. You are not good with numbers, yet good enough to have calculated that fraud pays off. I wasn't aware. I will take that answer into account. The judge has exposed him. Well, we have our witness. Please call in Thomas Leclerc. Please introduce yourself. Thomas LeClaire. I'm a regular at Gene Renard's establishment. Are they locked? Oh wait, do I have to read this case file? Oh, I unlocked it. Okay, that's what the thing is. How long have you suspected that something was wrong with the alcohol? I became suspicious around a month ago. Plenty of wine jugs were emptied, but instead of getting more drunk, I was just getting sober. It was already dawn when I realized I had no money left on me, and I was sober as a baby. How was that possible? Back then, I didn't realize customers were being served a proper first drink, then receiving more and more water in the drinks after that. Being slightly drunk, they weren't able to notice the difference. What was it like that? Was it like that every time? Every single time. Oh. I guess I should have asked the other question, but we still have the jury's verdict of prison. I have no other questions to do this. So, jury votes in favor of prison. I vote in favor of prison. That increases our influence, right? Because if I say acquittal, yeah, that's negative. So prison, I sign. I sentence Citizen Gene Renard to prison. Lead the condemned out. Huzzah! Long live pure wine. So we unlocked all the questions, and we got the influence on the jury. Moving on. After trial, click to move on to the next part. So we got more influence. Do I want to hire thugs? Screw it. We're doing it. We earned influence. Or we earned stuff during this trial. I have no mercy. May I remind you that you promised to join me. I have a feeling that tonight's moon favors gamblers. Uh-oh. Though it does not favor spouses. God should grace us with wives who understand the importance of an evening game of dice. They should also know that the right amount of wine guarantees a lucky roll. I should go home. Being a judge to the game has benefits. Other players will surely not cheat. That is not a strong argument. My name is Jacques. Isn't that how you say it? Like Jacques Louis David. I am but a humble painter, not a silver-tongued judge. You are a sly politician, Jacques. As a politician, I understand the importance of keeping promises, and you, my friend, are trying to get out of yours. I'm going home. Not tonight, Jacques. I don't know if that affects our influence, but we're gonna make the family happy tonight. I'm assuming if we did it, we would be sitting in that chair right there. We look so happy at home. Oh, it's like the little shape of a heart. Definitely not on purpose. Oh, but look, she's smiling. It's worth it. It's worth it. We are saving our marriage in this hard time. Late evening, the judge's house. What? Nothing. Do you not want to berate me like you always do? I'm glad you're home. Are you aware that Frederick sometimes imagines you as a deep-sea sailor? He dreams that you visit distant countries and have wonderful adventures. But he would rather have you by his side on land. We all want that. I don't want to watch the storm blow your lifeboat away and bury it beneath the waves. There are no waves. The storm is getting closer. Dark clouds already hang over the shore. Just wait until they finish building the guillotine. Your oars will break at once, and the waves will take you to a place you'll wish you've never set foot on. A place without us. What? I came home. You smiled. Your family loves you, but we won't find you in the darkness that has already begun to reach you. Sorry? Family actions. Upon returning home, you can decide how you would like to spend the rest of your day. Various actions. Each action will affect the family member, each other, as well their attitude towards you. Each character's attitude can provide you with or deprive you of certain bonuses, reputations with relationships with factions. Youngest son. Your youngest son is special. His attitude makes the other family members like you slightly more. Take good care of him. Okay. Oh, you have to actually click. Okay. So we do evening stroll. You take your family for an evening stroll. It will let your father stretch his old bones a bit. So we lose influence on the people, but we get revolutionaries and higher reputation. Gambling, no one likes that. Demonstration, they like that. You know, evening, I kind of want to go with evening stroll, because that's the most positive. We can do something with the people tomorrow. We need the revolutionaries higher, because that's almost blue. That's not quite as high. So we're just going to accept the evening stroll. Did I accept the evening stroll? Oh, it's going up. Okay. Look at that. Everyone happy because their son loves us. Day 2. Today, the people of Paris commemorate Jacques. He was lynched by a furious mob for performing his duties in France. The march shall symbolize the unity of our society in the hope that the most violent stage of the revolution is past us. Let us make sure that no other loyal servant of France becomes a victim of such hatred again. Isn't that who we were supposed to help? Oh no, officer. It was the loyal officers, those people who lynched him for observing the law. Will you join me at the march? Isn't that gonna piss off the people? I don't know. I wonder what the king has taken trouble to show up. Louis, the 15th? No, 16th. 16th, because if it was 14th, I would be there. Marching arm in arm with the people of Paris. That is unexpected. King Louis. Continue, please. I am merely an observer. Do not change your habits for me. I heard a thing or two about a young and ambitious judge of the tribunal. I was curious whether he is guided by justice or by, entertainment, as some would say. Okay, influence points 3, good relationship with wife, good relationship with younger son. Poor Papa. Okay, so things are getting better. Reputation +1. Events, neighborhood gossip. Your addictions are no longer a secret. Okay, that already happened. So, on day 2, reputation went up 1. Influence that. Influence up 1. With the... Okay. I forget too, what we do in the trial also affects how we're doing. Most Parisians are ordinary. They have ordinary problems, ordinary consciences. Okay. So we lost a little bit of the endorsement of the common folk. Okay. Nothing... Oh, there's a hierarchy. So David, an artist and politician, his paintings often refer to the revolution. When it comes to his political career, he is efficient deputy of the convention. These two areas of his life are blending together and feeding back on themselves. Okay, and then this guy, agent commander. Okay. It's a tiger. Kind of cute. I think that's it. I think that's it on the notebook. Okay. Protocol. Nothing here. Jury's not revealed verdict. Okay, so the revolutionaries want prison. Common folk want acquittal. Where do we see... Here. Okay, so right now we're pretty much medium on both. So let's read the case file. The defendant is Oliver Mugler, a 65-year-old master locksmith who is famed among many Parisian burglars as an expert on unopenable locks. Last month, he was commissioned by the owner of a Parisian glassworks, Jean Rude, Louis Roge, and Ferdinand Salon, to construct locks for ornate chests for valuables, presumably as gifts for their wives. The craftsman praised his latest creation as thief-proof. Shortly following their completion, the industrialist houses were hit by a series of burglaries committed by a recent newcomer to Paris, Hector Vian. The thief from Orleans was caught in the act and shot by Ferdinand Salon. An expensive map of Paris with the houses of recently robbed industrialists marked on it was found on the deceased. Surprisingly, Salon had given Mugler an identical map as advance payment. This deposit was in addition to the agreed remuneration from all the employees. Okay, so he has a map. So burglary and theft. So he's getting charged with doing a faulty lock and then hiring someone to lock in. Okay, so... Series of burglaries. So the series of burglaries is an accusation. The map is evidence. I don't think the drunken evening is anything. Master locksmith. That's his personality. Oh, there's two things we can do with that. Did I do the mark as evidence? Okay. Lock construction. Wouldn't that be course of the events? Drunken evening. Yeah, that's part of the course of the events. Master locksmith. We already did personality. Are we doing famous thief? Course of the events. Okay. So we got all the questions. So going back to the notebook. So technically we're a little, like, if you want to say fraction higher with the revolutionaries. So if we want to do the common folk, it's the acquittal. But let's just ask him questions. Robbing the bourgeoisie is no crime. According to the case file, you are citizen Oliver Mugler, is that correct? Indeed it is, Monsieur le Juge. May I have a request? I'm saying that definitely wrong, but I would like to sit down. I'm an old man, you see. Basic respect for the judiciary requires that you remain standing. Do the names Salon, Rude, and Rowe mean anything to you? They sound like the names of my debtors. Debtors? They are victims of the activities you conducted. You mean locksmithing? I mean... yeah. Okay. So... do we want to... do we just want to ask all the questions and kind of go from there? And just, since there's kind of like an even split, let's just ask all the questions and then see what the jury wants to do at that point. Because we unlocked them all, we might as well ask them. You were commissioned by the victims to make chest locks. Who installed them? It was me, naturally, and all in agreement with the contract. My job was to prepare and install the locks, and the employer was only to come and see whether the work was completed, and pay, of course. Was the installation carried out at your workshop? No, on site at the client's property. None of those idlers bothered to deliver the trunk to my workshop, so I had to strain my old legs. He's trying to get the pity vote right there. Does that mean you knew the addresses of the victims? How else would I get there? Blindfolded on a wagon? Okay. Did you know Hector Vian before? This is the first time I've heard that name. That is interesting, as you were seen draining several bottles of wine together at the Ginger Margot Inn. Is that a crime? No, but the question is, why are you denying it now? Was your drinking spree just a deception for discussing the burglary? Nobody I had a drink with introduced themselves as Hector. I didn't plan any heist with a Hector, Victor, or Hugo. I'm a locksmith and I earn good money from it. Burglaries are for vagrants without a job. Okay. Do you recognize this map? No, I don't recall ever seeing it before. Ferdinand Salon claims he gave you this map as an advance payment for your services. He claims what? That wicked wretch of a second-rate merchant. He gave me a scrap of paper as payment for making 3 locks and says it's supposed to be worth more than the 3,000 francs he owes me? An honest laborer is being judged while frauds remain at large. Silence. So this map, does it belong to you? It doesn't. So where's the map that you received from Citizen Salon? I lost it, but it wasn't even worth a loaf of bread, so I surely won't shed a tear. But if you have it, maybe you stole it from me. Maybe you better make a note that Oliver Mugler demands I can't even, whatever. Okay, my tongue does not want to work. Were you the one who marked the addresses of the 3 victims on the map? I didn't mark anything. The houses of your clients are marked on this map. I don't know who marked them. Maybe you should ask the person you found the map on. Maybe the court made the marks and has no memory of doing so. Do you not think that there are too many coincidences in your story? You obtain the map, but lose it, and then it is found on the thief who has robbed your clients. I know nothing of coincidences. I only make locks. Okay. How much did you charge for your services? 3,000 francs. Tidy sum, that is. If you were a master locksmith, you'd charge that much too. That is quite a substantial fee. Indeed, that is how much it costs to have high-quality locks made by a master with nearly 50 years of experience, and those jerks never paid me a single franc. The victims did not pay you for the agreed amount. Not a franc. I'd beat that money right out of them, but I'm too old for that. Okay. So, did you give him the map with the victims' houses? I gave nothing to Achilles, Hector, or any other Greek. Call in the witness, Citizen Rude. Jean Rude in the flesh? You will not speak unless called upon. Naturally, of course. What went missing during the burglary? My house was the first one to be robbed, and in my case, it was mostly valuables. At Rowe's house, he will not say it himself, and I do not want to go to prison. It was the letters he had exchanged over the years with King Louis. Damn monarchist. Salon did not lose a thing. He shot that guy in the act, or the vermin in the act. That is what he said. What happened to the items he had stolen? That still remains unknown. According to Salon, Hector had nothing with him. Ferdinand suspects he had hidden the other valuables somewhere. He hid the other items before robbing the last house? Strange. Advance payment in the form of a map, its disappearance, the murder of a burglar, and the lack of payment for its services. It all makes for a rather strange story, a suspicious one too. I do not... What are you mumbling? If I say something, will I be free? He knows something. Please testify what you know immediately. The map was Salon's idea. He told the thief about the advance payment we gave to the locksmith and proposed that Hector steal it. And he did? Indeed, but when the guy robbed us... But then the jerk robbed us. Later we were forced by Salon not to pay the locksmith because he sent the thief after us, and that's when it all went down the drain. That's the bourgeoisie for you. He fooled them all in one fell swoop. It sounds like Citizen Salon had everything planned. However, there's no evidence to support the claim. Perhaps it is Citizen Rude that is plotting against his partner and wants to frame him. And Vian is dead, so he will not be able to shed light on any of this. If I was younger, I'd give that salon a drubbing. That pig, that good-for-nothing lying jerk. Please restrain yourself. The testimony of a witness is still not evidence, neither of Citizen Salon's guilt nor of your innocence. Okay. Rumor has it that you're one of the best locksmiths in Paris. I should deny it for modesty's sakes, but I will not. That cannot be true, though, as a random thief from New Orleans, or why did I say New Orleans? Is not America. Was easily able to open your locks. Well, then he must have been one of the best thieves in Orleans. I don't freaking know. Let's be serious. Every lock can be picked with the right talents, even my locks. It's not wrong. Did you tell him how to open your locks? I understand what you're implying, but consider this. If he sold the secret of my locks, then my business would be over. Word spreads fast among thieves. You're not wrong. Okay, so we asked all the questions. I'm saying he's not guilty. I'm gonna do the full acquittal. I know y'all aren't gonna be happy, but... risk of death, risk of being removed from office. I mean, like I said, I think he's innocent. I think we're fine. The verdict of Citizen Oliver Mugler is not guilty. Lead the defendant away. Bravo, Mugler. Away with the bourgeoisie. To be honest, this does bear the marks of social justice. They would not pay him, so he had them robbed. There is balance here. Okay. We have the influence of the jury. Obviously, the revolutionaries aren't happy, but we could probably fix that tonight. Okay. So it was what? Revolutionaries -6, common folk +3. We can make adjustments.
King Louis XVI. There were people who truly loved him. He reminded the French they had noble ancestors.
But they killed him, right? Is this when he dies?
Do not be manipulated by people who are not bearing the burden of responsibility.
I still think we had the right call.
This saddened me. Someone had advised him to say that. Someone who was well aware of the cold, inevitable wind of change. I did not pity the king, but those who will come after him, as they will not have great ancestors.
Uh-oh. One of us. Oh, we did march. So that actually did help our revolutionaries. And we lost the common folk endorsement that we earned during that trial. Okay, Frenchmen marched in the streets of Paris, side by side, one line after another, to commemorate Jacques, mayor of, he was murdered by a furious mob, punished for a law he did not enact, but was obliged to observe. Freedom of speech killed him. If we understand that this as the right to cast stones to show one's discontent, the right to murder people because you deem them responsible for your miserable life, surely the people of Paris would prefer if we said that nothing happened. Your son is rather good with the viola. He is both talented and enthusiastic. I would prefer that he was as enthusiastic about the law books I give him. Maybe his destiny is to become an artist, not a lawyer. Mother likes to hear me playing, and there is nothing more boring than law. See, he would rather let his career rely on the humors of the people. There are many ways to rescue France. Believe me, our country desperately needs something to ennoble it. The power is in the hands of the simple, illiterate people. Let him rescue their souls with music. This is better than boring laws and clauses. See what you are doing. You are spoiling my child. I do not have my own children to spoil, so I am focusing on yours. Speaking of which... Oh, no. Locked action. After various important events, you may find yourself with this action. On this day, you become the victim of your own decisions. So we have to do that one. You attended the parade in the memory of the lynch, but that helps with the influence on the people. And our... yeah. Uh-oh. Day 3. Another cutscene. There's the guillotine.
That is our new symbol of freedom. You can still smell the fresh wood.
Not fresh blood.
Do you feel free looking at it?
Individuals like us do not need symbols, but France does. Did you hear the news of the day? People are running around like headless chickens and yelling about Louis and his entourage
I don't know if
escaping
it's a
Paris.
good joke to make.
So,
In
we
front
will
of the
not be
guillotine.
enjoying the aroma of fresh wood for long.
Monuments like that are not installed solely for the purpose of punishing thieves or lesser aristocrats.
Do you think it wants to taste royal blood?
Louis's flight was a stupid move, yet it seems it was planned. One of us will sacrifice him. That is, if they catch him.
Is that why Louis visited us at the court? To manipulate us?
Maybe deep in his heart he felt what the builders of the guillotine did. That someone has to be exposed as a traitor, even if there is none.
Uh-oh. Okay. So I'm gonna actually end this right here because I feel like this first video is long enough. So without further ado, I hope you have a good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time of the day it is when you're watching this, and I hope to see y'all next time.